Hey Queen, it's the Find Your Voice show with Coach Fuyanzi. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell another queen about the show. Today is another great interview. Her name is Ifeoma Ben. Make sure you check out her bio in the description box below. Get your pen, get your notebook, because school is in session. Hello, welcome everyone. I always say that I am excited because guess what? I am excited to be able to have this opportunity to interview Black women leaders from across the globe. And today is no different. As you heard, we have Ifeoma Ben here today, and I start off all of my interviews the same. Ifeoma, tell me, what is your favorite quote?
Wow, Beyonce, thank you so much for having me. My favorite quote is actually taken from my Christian background, a scripture in the Bible that is so dear to me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that's taken from Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. And
I'm going to pause you right there. I want you to say it one more time so everybody, including the people way back there, can hear you. Say it one more time, Ifeoma, and then continue talking.
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that scripture is from Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. And that has defined a lot of things that I do and has encouraged me even when I face difficulties. It's such an amazing portion of the scripture, and it's so loaded with a lot of power that could ginger someone to go out of his or her comfort zone. And that has encouraged me a lot.
Oh my gosh, you have opened up a lid here, and we're going to go down this path. I'm hearing you say it has encouraged you. And one thing I think about is, not all the time people use a quote from their religious background. So then that leads me to ask you, well, let me just lay this foundation. We know that this show is called the Find Your Voice show, where we're helping Black women leaders to find their voice from the inside out. So with that scripture in mind, can you tell us how your faith has helped you find your voice?
Thank you for that wonderful question. I am a Christian, and by the grace of God, a devoted one. And that has formed me and groomed me from childhood until adulthood. And because of my upbringing and my relationship with God, which I value so much, I have been able to impact on people positively. I have been able to express myself. I've been able to talk to people and mentor a lot of people, even outside the religious circle, both in the religious circle, in my profession, even in the society. And it has really helped me to help people, to make impact, help people in need, and also help people to find their voices, discover who they are. Because a lot of people, a lot of times, we don't seem to understand the potential we have. So, but sometimes you need other people to bring you up and tell you, yes, you can do this. You have all it takes to do this. So that has really helped a lot, and it has helped me to help people.
And I still want to stay right here. So it sounds like, well, not that it sounds like you've said, it's helped you in order to help others.
Exactly.
So if we could pull back the cloak just a little bit here, Ifeoma, and I want you to think about a time where you really had to grasp onto this in your life. I know we might be going a little bit deep here and a little bit personal, but I'm hoping that you're able to share a time where you really, really had to cling to that verse.
Yes, I will just share a personal story. It's something that happened some years ago while I was younger in the legal profession. By the way, I'm a practicing lawyer, and yes, and I'm glad to be one. I thank God for that opportunity, yes, to make impact in the justice sector. So when I was in my early years of practice, I wasn't this bold. I wasn't doing so much. I wasn't really tapping the potentials, maximizing my potentials. So I was just there, like, every other young lawyer. But something happened. We usually have an annual general conference for all lawyers in Nigeria. Then we are traveling to another city. I am based in Lagos, Nigeria, and the conference was to hold in Port Harcourt, one of the major cities also here in Nigeria. And we were in a bus, we were going together, we are having fun, discussing, and I needed to make some calls, and I found out that my battery was low, and I hadn't, we are just in a bus, and I didn't have anything, a power bank to power my phone. And a senior colleague had, and I asked her to, help me with her power bank, so I could and it was a multiple charger power bank or so, so I could use it, she could use it, about 2 or 3 people could use it at the same time. So, but she said she preferred to give it to someone else. And she made a comment. That comment, which someone would have regarded as a negative comment, actually spurred me into action. And that comment is this: that she would prefer to give it to this other colleague of ours because she feels I cannot help her, I cannot do anything for her. She might have said it jokingly, but it had, it made a deeper impact. I was seated beside a male colleague. Immediately she made that comment. Okay, what can I do for her? This other person, at least she's sure that there's something she can get from him or from her. I can't remember the particular gender. So I now went into deep thought. So that means does it mean that and that's asking myself question, does it mean I do not have the capacity to help people or the capacity to help this particular individual in question? So it's, it was a defining moment for me to go deeper and ask myself questions. That means there are certain things I'm not doing right, or there are certain things I need to get right to even be able to help this kind of person. So I didn't react negatively. I didn't say anything. So, but the guy beside me turned beside and said, I should hold that word tight. There's a particular way he put it, but what he meant was that that it is a challenge to me. And to me, I didn't also react, but all through the journey, I kept on thinking about that. So just fast forward 3 years along the line. I can't even remember that it was up to 3 years, but let me just say within 3 to 4 years along the line, after that incident happened, I became an executive committee member of the MBA in my branch, and I was the assistant secretary, and I was helping to run the secretariat of the branch. And in fact, I did a number of things that also distinguished me in that position. And I was happy that I was able to help this particular colleague of ours who made the comment that she wasn't gave an impression that I didn't have the capacity or the potential to help her. And I know that she's still my friend. I didn't make her an enemy. In fact, maybe God just used her to challenge me to come out of my comfort zone.
Wow.
Because from then I started getting more and more active in the branch activities, in the association's activities, and so many other things that today in my branch, before certain things, in certain committees, in fact, I am working much more than I even should, because there are multiple committees where they said, Ifeoma, I want you to be in this committee. I want you to serve in this committee because I believe you can do this, you can do this, you can do that. So the table has turned around, and I'm grateful for that opportunity to be able to rediscover myself, to understand the potential that I have. And I'm glad that I'm using that to help people.
Oh my gosh. Okay, everyone get out your pens because school is in session. Let's look at Ifeoma's journey so far. She has told us how her faith has empowered her. You may or may not be of the same faith, but can you relate to something spiritual and something within empowering you? Listen, I know a lot of you who watch this may say, how can she use her faith at work? Those are United States people talking, because I know how y'all talk, because I'm from the United States. But you can see how she's used it as a vehicle from within. She doesn't, from what she's telling us, Ifeoma, you don't necessarily have to say a word, because it is your actions. Those are your actions that are a demonstration of your faith. Now, the next thing you guys can learn from what Ifeoma just said was, she said that colleague said something to her in a joking way. And a lot of times, maybe when someone is joking, it could be a little bit hurtful. Ifeoma could have come back with something smart, but look what she did. Yes, she came back with something smart. In her mind, she used this as a moment to be contemplative. Let's think about times where, Ifeoma, I think this also illustrates great restraint, great patience, and this ability to have this reflection. Because a lot of people may have reacted, right? She said something kind of snide, she plays around, but it could have turned into a bantering thing. And the person who I'm speaking to now may have never come out of that. So all of you, as you're thinking about things that have happened and things that happen and things that will happen, can you respond with your mind versus your mouth? Because a lot of times what comes out of our mouth isn't necessarily good if we just want to, if our ego is involved. And that's another thing, Ifeoma, I am hearing from you that you pushed your ego to the side. Exactly. To put what was important before you. So I hope everyone's learning a lesson here about ego, about patience, about responding, about thinking, about being contemplative and reflective, about taking action. Ifeoma is our teacher for today, and she is dropping some heavy lessons for us. Now, you've alluded to it today as we talk. More like tonight, closer to tonight for you than for me. But you've alluded to something, and that is helping others. You've actually said it. So I want you to speak a little bit about how you are helping others to find their voice.
Thank you once again. Yes, helping people, it's something that I'm passionate about. And I've also received help from people, and I want to give back. So currently, I mentor young people, young professionals, and young students who want to come up, who want to discover their potential, who want to also seek career guidance. So through various platforms, I do that. So I started doing that in the Legal Business Network, one of my organizations, where I help startups and entrepreneurs build legally protected businesses. So I help to guide business people, startups, young people who are starting businesses. So I help them to get it right. Then under my law firm, which is my business, the Law Suite, we from time to time mentor young students. So right now we are mentoring 32 young students, 32 law students across the Federation and even beyond. And these students, we sent out application for virtual internships, and we got a number of applications that we screened. And currently we have myself and my partners in the Law Suite are currently mentoring them and guiding them in their career path. And it's been an amazing period with them. It's a 6-week internship period, and we have weekly sessions with them. We also have WhatsApp platforms where we subdivided them into groups, and we have daily chats. We discuss, answer their questions, give them assignment tasks based on the discussions sessions. So we've had a number of sessions on career opportunities. We've also had sessions on challenges and how to meet those challenges. We even had sessions on goal setting, SWOT analysis, and some other business principles and personal principles that can help them to excel in life. So it's something I'm passionate about. It's something that gives me joy, and I'm very happy each time that I have the opportunity to do this. It gives me joy. It really keeps me fulfilled, and I'm happy to do that.
I don't know if the people are really picking up what you're giving here, because you're giving some energy right here. And even if you hadn't have said, it gives me fulfillment, anyone who is truly watching this could feel your passion about what you're doing as you spoke. And folks, I think that's another lesson right there, that in some way, there should be involvement in your life with something that gives you that much passion that Ifeoma just showed. She didn't sit there and think, okay, let me get passionate about this. No, as she spoke about it, we could feel the beautiful energy rising. We're coming down on we're starting to wrap this up, but this question is on my mind. You're mentoring, you're helping, you have your own business. There seems to have been different people along the way for you, because I hear you say, I want to give back. So I want to ask you this. Might there be a person or two that you'd say have been your mentor or mentors in your life?
Yes, I've had a number of mentors, male and female, both from my career and also from other disciplines as well. And these mentors have really been of help to me. I don't know if I'm permitted to mention names, but some of them have really impacted in my life, in my career, in getting me to where I am now. And some have actually helped me by the hand to say, okay, even recommended me to different positions that I may not have achieved on my own. So, even in our profession, we have for you to get to certain positions, or for you to be able to work in certain even committees, you need to prove yourself, you need to distinguish yourself. But at times I receive emails that you have been nominated to serve in this capacity, in that capacity. I would start wondering where it came from. And until so sometimes I have received or have been appointed to hold certain positions or to act in certain capacities, not on my own, just because I have been recommended by some mentors who believe in me, who believe in my
Wow.
capacity, who believe that Ifeoma is able to do this, and I can
Wow.
close my eyes and sleep and believe that she can deliver. And I thank God that I have not disappointed them. And at each point I'm being recommended to serve, I've always tried to distinguish myself. I've always tried to render service in an excellent way that will always call for more recommendations. So I'm very grateful to these my mentors who always hold me by the hand and guide me in my career path.
Oh, wow. This has been amazing. Folks, you should have notes. You yourself should be thinking about what has been said, because even after all the achievements, I've just heard you say, Ifeoma, that you still want to make sure that you are rendering the best service. You want to make sure that these people, you've made good for what these people have entrusted in you. And that in itself is beautiful. And you are definitely a demonstration and an illustration of one who has found their voice. So we know you're out in Lagos, and we have people from all over that will be watching us. So tell the folks where they can find you, what you're doing, what you're up to next.
Okay, so what I'm doing now, and in fact, I am currently working on, I have an annual conference that I normally organize. Yes, the Legal Business Conference. So I usually start working, preparing for that conference from the last quarter of the year. It's usually held during the second quarter of the next year. So we start working towards it, start preparing. And in fact, the last one was amazing. The last one we held in May this year was awesome. It was an international conference streamed via Zoom, YouTube, and in fact, it's been awesome. I still receive testimonials. I still receive, people always commenting that that session was really great and it really helped a lot of people. And we are currently working on another edition for the year 2023, and it's going to be awesome as well. So we have other projects also in my another organization, my charity, Justice World Foundation. So from time to time, we help people, the less privileged in society. We help them in legal representation, indigent people in society, victims of domestic violence, and we always try to help them get justice. So we work for social justice and try to help people who cannot have access to this, to justice just because they do not have the funds. So render free legal services to them. So this is also another way that I give back to society through my the Justice Vault Foundation.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a big, amazing conference next year that you'll start planning for this year. Also, you've told us about how people can get free services. Tell the paying people how they can get a hold of you. Who those people who can pay for your lawyer services, quickly tell them who they are and how they can get in touch with you. And we'll make sure we link up everything in the description below.
Yes. So my primary business is the Law Suite, my law firm. So you can reach out to me via email, ifeoma.ben@thelawsuite.legal. You can also check out our website. You can see my bio there or my profile and read more about me. I'm also social, so you can connect with me on social media. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can connect with me on these social channels. I'm always very happy to connect with people, to also interact, and I share some content as well on my social media handles. So I'll be happy to connect with you.
Awesome. And we will have all of that information in the description. Ifeoma, we are honored. I am honored to have had you here. We thank you. You have given us so much, so many lessons that we can take away. And we thank you again for being a part of the Find Your Voice show. Take care.